Alright, so this is my demo here for the final project for server-side scripting. When you go to port 3000, it takes you to the sign-in page for my web page, which is a site that you can use to analyze your Apple Music play history to kind of give you more information about your most played songs, how many times you've listened to a song, how many times you've listened to different artists, how much you listen to certain genres. So this is the home, which takes you to this page. You have the option to either sign up or sign in or sign up. If you try signing up and you pick a username that's already taken, it'll give you that error. It says username already taken. If you try signing in and you don't use the right password, same kind of thing, invalid username or password. So if we go to sign up and we do one that isn't taken, it lets you sign in. It shows you're using it. Use the session data right here to show who's currently signed in. And then right here, if we do that, we can see the new user updated in there, added them to the users database. And so I'll go back to the account I had created with the database. So once you're signed in, since I'm not able to access anyone's Apple Music play history, you can follow this link here, and it lets you. It takes you to Apple's webpage where you can request the play history from, and they use the two-factor authentication. So 576902. Lets you sign in. You do request a copy of your data, and it is the Apple Media one. I've already requested it, and it takes a couple days for them to get it to you, but they do send it to you as a CSV file. I've got downloaded right here. Once that's downloaded, you can see here, going back to 2015 when Apple Music first came out, I've had an account. So as every time I've listened to a song using Apple Music, there's a lot of different information. There's so the same song can actually appear in here twice, or I mean as many times as you've listened to it, since each entry is a new time you played it. So like right here has the artist name, says what version of or what like the device was you were listening to it on. What else? Or like the version as well, iOS 10. The IP you listened to it on, name of the song, the label, like the music label, the content type, which I believe is just song for every one of them, since I don't really watch videos or anything through Apple Music. Your like device's ID, how long you listen to the song for, the reason you stopped listening to the song. So it could be like, some of them will be not specified, but I'm not entirely sure how that gets used. But what time you listen to it at. So this was November 17th, 2016 at, what would that be, 8:30, I believe. And yeah, a bunch of different information about it here. So I then used since I wasn't able in my code to get it to manually import, after the user uploads the file here, it takes a little bit to upload, but it will, once it uploads, save it to this folder here with the user's name there, and it'll if like the user had already uploaded one in the past and next year they come back and they have a new file, it'll overwrite the old one. So that file was successfully uploaded. Then you're able to find your most played songs, and that will, yep, looks like that worked. That calls this most played get method here, searches the array for the most occurrences and outputs them right here. So this is my most played song, which has 336 plays, and it also it takes the name of the artist, and I believe that's in the EJS file it sends to after it gets this, and it keeps using the user's session ID there, which the user session ID was also used to upload the file to make sure it's the correct user that they're uploading the CSV file for. And it sends, the time frames of all time. If you do it by year, which I'll show you later, it would send the year of the most played songs, if that makes sense. So in views, where is it? Results. Yeah, results right here. Outputs them, and then I also wrote in here in the EJS, it sets this variable most played to whoever the first artist is in there, and then it goes to the public folder and finds an artist with that name. If I were to actually put this website out, I would download, a bunch of just popular images of popular artists for displays an image of them, and I'd just keep on adding more files to that, and then it shows how many plays on each of my songs. Then you can do the same thing with genre. It tells you of all time, 79% of your music was hip hop. I just did an image of a popular rapper for the rap and hip hop genre. Most played artists, you can do the same thing. It's the same group there, so it's pulling in the same picture. And yeah, those are kind of similar, just searching for different, the router, searching for different things in the artists. The artist one shows you most played artists. Shows in here, searches the database for most occurrences of an artist name. The genre one's a little more in depth. It searches the database for the most occurrences of a genre. But so the way this one works is I have a variable for like hip hop, rock, jazz, pop, punk, electronic, metal, R&B, reggae. Just like pretty popular ones, and then I used to count, since, like, for example, there's like different subgenres within a genre of music. There would be like, punk rock, hard rock, or for rap, there could be hip hop, it could be called rap, it could be underground hip hop, it could be so many different things. So I kind of use this to generalize it a little bit more, so you're not getting, kind of skewed results. To add a counter there for hip hop, rock, jazz, just the different, and then it sends those results, and so it divides it by 100 to get a percentage, or divides it by the total and multiplies it by 100 to get a percentage of the genre, as we saw on this. So it's 79%. And then it sends that to the genre results page, and it does the same thing where it finds an image of the artist or the genre. And artists, it's pretty much the same thing. It kind of searches based on that. Then you can do it yearly, 2015. Find my most played songs from 2015. It's that. Finds a picture of the artist. 119 plays in that year. Top 25 results. And then I forgot to mention I do have the header and footer that were required. Keep going. 2016. But since Apple Music's only been around for since 2015, let's say you go in and you put in 2012. It's going to tell you invalid year. Year must be between 2015 and 2019, or if you just did, some random string, it's not going to break my page or anything. It gives you a proper error message. And you can continue. You go down here. Most played genre 2017. Search database 75% that year compared to 79 overall. 2019. 81%. and it sends the year that you input, since it's these three are for the year for songs, year for genre. It uses it gets the user input and adds it to this, so it knows which year to search in the database, and it finds the most popular genres. Then it does the same thing for like the genre one that it does in the all-time. Sends it back to the user, and then that's the sign-in method. Sign up, year. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on the header it has the home right there. And if you want it to kind of just be more slimmed down to give you kind of a summary of your past 5 years, you can use this one, which was a little bit difficult to figure out, I suppose, because it's what is it called in this? It's the summary one here. Where is it? There. It uses different schemas that I used. I found a query that, which I found to be a little bit quicker, or not a query, but a query, I guess, to split up each year into its own database automatically, that I did just in the PowerShell. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it did split up, so you have all your, and then it calls them, or it searches them all simultaneously, and finds your most played song from a year. So 2019, that's my most played song, my most played artist in 2019, and then top played genre, and it does that for all 5 years, searches the different databases, and then finds an image. And this image is actually just random based on one of these 5, or I guess in this situation there's a repeat there, so 4 artists. So if we kept on, it's just, it just randomly picks one. So if we just kept on refreshing this page, it'll change most of the time, which I thought was kind of neat to include. And what else? I believe we've covered everything. Again, the header takes you back to the home. Music summary is the other item in the header, which kind of, just again takes you back to that same page that this button at the bottom does. The music summary. I suppose I could show more about the EJS, how I use that for like genre results. Use the EJS to use a for loop here. Where is it? Yeah, right here, a for loop to add each item to the table. For genre, for the artist results, it gives you your top 10 artists. And for song results, where is that one? It gives you your top 25. And the reason I start at 1 here is because in this, let's say, I'm trying to find it, it's just so many entries in here. Let's say someone had a song that they just downloaded to their computer, which a lot of people do. It will accidentally be finding, I'm trying to find an example in here, I guess like right here, and then there's, it keeps going. So every time there's one without a song, it's accidentally pulling in a empty field. So that's for most people, because I've tested this with a couple of my friends, Apple Music CSV files. Most people do pull in as their most played song a null field, and that was just the first way I thought of getting that to not display an empty field here as the first item in the table. And other than that, I believe that should be everything for my file. Oh, I can show too how I used it to, where do I do that? I can't remember exactly where the, the upload method. So when you click that upload file, it'll give you an error message if you didn't select a file. If you do, it saves the path here where I want it to be saved to, and then it gets the user's session ID and saves it as a CSV file. I'm going to just look over the rubric here quick and make sure that I'm not missing anything that I needed to have. So I have enough, yeah, I covered all the get and post methods using the user input. Head of the header and footer, use the session data to save it as the file name and to display the current user. I guess I didn't show this too much, but I'll show you now. So the find is used in here. The find is used in the sign in. I use the find, it finds all users and compares their input, and then I used aggregate in most of the genre and artist ones to get the correct, to show what user is, or the results that the user is searching for based on the user's input, or if it's just all time, then through the entire database. I used the aggregate there. Save and insert, those are used when a user signs up for the page. You find the users, make sure one isn't already taken, and then if they aren't, it adds them to the database right there, create user. So it looks like I've covered everything pretty much. Sorry for the video going on a little bit long there, but so yeah, that's my final project. I can go over it again too here one last time, show you your different results. Yep, so that is my final project.